Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to episode 6 of The People's Cut. So episode 6 of The People's Cut, man, the final episode of this series of The People's Cut. The competition is over. If you did decide to compete, if that was your final goal, or the diet's over, you've reached your goal weight, the best you could possibly do, the diet is over. This episode of The People's Cut, this last episode, is episode 6, is about reverse dieting. So it's about the post-diet period or the post-contest period where so many people just have a lack of understanding and they get themselves into all kinds of weight blowouts, all kinds of hormone issues, all kinds of just nasty health problems because they don't deal with the post-diet or the post-competition period very intelligently. So this episode, we're gonna talk to you about that reverse dieting process, the things not to do, the things to correctly do to correctly run a reverse diet. Then you guys are gonna see what my reverse diet looks like at about 4 weeks post-contest. So 4 weeks after the show, where my reverse diet is at. You can see exactly what I'm eating, the supplements that I'm taking 4 weeks post-contest, just to kind of give you a bit of a feel for what I'm doing. You're gonna see some training then as well. And then because this is the last episode and you guys have asked for it, we're gonna throw in there a bunch of transformation footage. We're gonna throw in there a bunch of contest footage as well, so you guys can see how I ended up at the end of The People's Cut. So let's get straight into it. I mean, reverse diet, the post-contest period, is something that a lot of people just don't understand. What happens is you work so hard for your contest prep, or you work so hard for your diet, your cut, and then you get to the end of it and you're so fatigued, you're so tired, you're also so satisfied with how well you've done that effectively what a lot of people do is they just go automatically straight back to how they were before they started the cut. So straight back to the maintenance calorie level, completely remove cardio. A lot of people even take time off training as well and just go back to trying to be quote unquote normal after spending 12, 15, 20 weeks in this extreme cutting phase. And let me tell you guys, pretty much the worst thing you can do post-contest or post-diet or post-cut is stop doing cardio altogether, stop training altogether, and start eating like a normal person does. That is pretty much the worst thing you can do. And I guarantee you, because I've seen it so many times, and I've even done it myself when I first started competing, I did that. I guarantee you, you will blow out, you will put a lot of weight back on, you'll start getting some hormone issues, you start getting some psychological issues as well because you put so much weight back on so quickly and you lose that leanness that you work so hard for. So guys, that is pretty much the worst thing you can do. And I know that it's tempting to do it. It's tempting. The contest is over, the cut is over, you've worked so hard, you're so tired. The one thing you want to do is just take time off training and go back to eating normally, go back to your maintenance calories. But that is the worst thing you can do. So let's break it down for you real simple. Look, in terms of cardio, what you want to do post-cut was part of your reverse diet or your reverse training, if you want to refer to it as that, is you want to continue to do cardio but bump it down. So for me, at that last peak week of cardio, I was doing cardio morning, I was doing cardio night as well. So what I did immediately post-contest was I cut that in half. So I'd go to doing cardio either every single morning or every single night, or 3 mornings and 3 nights. So cut your cardio in half, and you can pretty much cut it in half every week for the first 4 weeks, to the point where at the end of that 4-week period, you're doing pretty much no cardio. But you don't want to stop doing cardio altogether. You have to tone it down. You have to reverse the cardio out of your diet to slowly bring you back into that caloric surplus. So you can't cut cardio straight out right away, guys. I know that's what you want to hear, but my advice to you is to cut it in half in that week post-contest, and then every week after that, continue to cut it down, cut it down to the point where you get like 4 to 5 weeks post-contest and there's really no need to be doing much cardio at all, maybe once or twice a week, and then you can keep that in or don't keep it in if you want to in your off season. That's the first thing with cardio. With training, do not take time off training post-contest, guys. You got to think about it. You got to be smart about this, right? You followed the people's cut throughout this entire process. You know the balance of calories, the calories in, the calories out, how to get yourself in that caloric deficit. If you are burning, let's say for example, 2,000 calories a day from your cardio and your training, that's your caloric output, the output side of that equation. And then you go immediately post-contest to cutting that completely out, you're effectively 2,000 calories up within a day of the end of that contest. You can't do that because you're gonna blow out, you're gonna put on a lot of weight, you're gonna cause yourself a lot of hormone, a lot of psychological issues. So you can't do that. Please do not go and take time off training. Sure, you don't have to train with the same intensity that you were training with during your cut, but keep it in there. Keep it in there as much as you can. If you can, continue to train in terms of the weight aspect of your training as you were throughout the cut. That's personally what I did, guys. The week post-contest, man, I was just so excited to be training with actual food in me again that I was like, man, I'm straight in there. I'm training as hard as I can. I was training even harder than I was before the contest because I had the calories to be able to do it and I wasn't doing stupid amounts of cardio. I was sleeping properly. So I was just happy to be training. But do not take a number of weeks off training. Try and get straight back into the gym that week following the contest or that week following your cut. And once you're straight back in there, guys, you're in the routine already. If you take that initial week off training, it's very difficult to get back into that routine, and that's where a lot of people let themselves down. So that's the cardio aspect, that's the training aspect. The diet and the supplement aspect, you guys are gonna see in a second what I've been doing, but the general rule of thumb, and this is what I found works for me, and this is what we found has worked for our athletes as well, is if you take the calories that you were at your lowest point in that last week of the cut, which for me was just above 1,800 calories in that final week of contest prep, or that 2 weeks before the contest prep. And for guys, you go and add 300 calories back into your diet every week until you're back up to maintenance calories. And for girls, you go and add 200 calories a week every week until you're back up to maintenance calories. That is a really good way of healthily, or a healthy way of introducing calories back into your diet that isn't gonna cause you to blow out and put a lot of weight back on and cause hormone issues, but still is going to allow you to reverse out of that diet and get you back into your maintenance calories in quite a short period of time. So if you take me, guys, just above 1,800 calories in that final week of contest. The week post-contest, I bumped it up 300, went straight to 2,100 calories. The week after, 2,400. The week after, 2,700. The week after, 3,000. So 4 weeks post-contest, I was eating 3,000 calories a day, and that's what you guys are about to see in a second. That's a really quick way of getting you back up to those maintenance calories, progressively reversing you back out of that cutting diet. For girls, very similar, just add those 200 calories. So for a girl that finished her contest prep, let's say on 1,000 calories, the week post-contest, it would be 1,200. The next week it's 1,400. The next week it's 1,600. The next week it's 1,800. And you keep doing that until you get back to your maintenance calories. Really good way to get yourself back to those maintenance calories without blowing out and putting a lot of weight on. In terms of the supplements, I mean, the supplements is really up to you guys. Obviously, the things that you're gonna remove straight away are gonna be your fat loss supplements. So there's no real point in you taking your fat burner anymore or your fat metabolizer unless it's acetyl L-carnitine and you like it for the mind muscle focus, which is what I do. But your kind of fat loss specific supplements, you can pretty much drop those that week after the contest. There's not gonna be any issue with that. Your other kinds of supplements, if you wanna keep them in, keep them in. If you don't wanna keep them in, that's fine too. But you guys will see what I do in a second. Let's flip the switch, show you exactly what my diet, my supplements, and my training looks like 4 weeks post-contest. So diet, so this, you guys, what you're about to see 4 weeks post-contest. So my total caloric intake at this stage is around 3,000 calories. Now you're gonna see all of my meals here at this stage. This is the first meal, protein powder sludge with some oats in there, some rice cakes, MTS machine whey using as a sludge, the P28 peanut butter in there as the fat source as well, and then a black coffee as well. So you're gonna see a lot of these foods, I mean, you know, they're not that different to what I was eating pre-contest or as part of the cut. It's just more of it. So, you know, the protein, as you guys would know, my protein stays the same year round. What's gonna change and what you're gonna see in these meals is the carbs are up and obviously the fats are up as well. And then we're into meal number 2, steak and beans with a bit of peanut butter in there. Once again, protein is exactly the same. The beans are beans, so I was eating those pre-contest anyway. The one difference here is the peanut butter, of course, getting those extra calories from fats from the peanut butter. And then as always, washing it down with BCAAs. I drink BCAAs year round, doesn't matter if I'm cutting, bulking, whatever. I find that it helps with protein synthesis, so that's why I drink it between meals. And then we're on to meal number 3, some turkey breast. Once again, same amount of protein as usual, same amount of greens as usual. Once again, the one thing that changes is that they're peanut butter, throwing in some extra calories from the fats there as well. One thing you guys will notice is that my nutrient timing stays pretty much the same year round as well. So the carbohydrates are first thing in the morning, pre-workout, intra-workout, post-workout, which is what I was doing throughout most of the people's cut. And then we're on to our pre-workout meal. So speaking of carbs, here you go. So chicken in there, some brown rice, and a banana. So pretty much the same food that we were eating throughout the people's cut, just more of it, and then fruits back in as well. We lost fruit for a number of weeks there, and then that's the pre-workout meal. And then the next meal following the pre-workout meal is, of course, the post-workout meal. And then once again, you guys will see, similar to the post-workout meals we were having pre-contest, just some more carbohydrates in there. We got some chicken, some sweet potato, and then the fruits are back as well with the pineapple, my personal favorite, the frozen pineapple, getting in there, getting me that fructose for post-workout, help replenish that liver glycogen. And then after this, the post-workout meal, we're gonna see the pre-bed meal, which is pretty cool, man. Most of my pre-bed meals throughout cutting was just a lean meat and then some greens, but now we're a little bit more flexible with our sources of nutrients as well, so we can go a little bit more nutrient dense, which means we can use things like casein protein and protein powder sludges and that sort of thing. So here you got some casein protein. I got some peanut butter from my P28, once again, getting them fats, and you see the P28 actually has protein in there as well with some fats, and then also a little bit of carbs in there too, and then some extra carbohydrates. Once again, fruit is back in the diet here, and I'm getting my fruits from some mixed frozen berries in there as well. Mix that all up, and that's my pre-bed meal. So you see, that's just over 3,000 calories. Protein is the same as it's always been. Obviously, the carbohydrates are significantly higher than they were 4 weeks ago in that peak week, and the fats are significantly higher as well. And for me, my maintenance calories, guys, is around 4,000. So I'm still about 1,000 calories below my pre-cutting or pre-people's cut maintenance calories, but we're getting back there. And then we're on to subs. So my breakfast sups, or my breakfast sups, my morning sups looks like this. We got ourselves some Isotoy BioGrow, which I take year round in there. Helps with the protein synthesis, of course. Then my MTS greens plus multi. It's my greens, my reds, my multi in there also. And then my concrete in there, you'll see in a second, throw that in there as well. The main thing that's changed here as part of the reverse diet is, of course, there's no fat burners in here. At this stage, I'm doing cardio at the moment 3 mornings a week, and that's it. So I'll go and walk between half an hour to 45 minutes, 3 mornings a week, but there's no need for my fat loss sups. And then we're into our intra and post-workout sups. My intra workouts, obviously branched chain aminos, we kept them in throughout the entire cut, but now we got some carbolin in there as well. So the machine fuel is the branched chain aminos, the carbolin, obviously throwing some carbohydrates back in there intra workout. And then post workout, finally, we get to reintroduce the nutrient dense post workout shake. Got the carbs from the Creation Dextro Pure, the creatine from Concrete, and the BioGrow in there as well. And then the protein post-workout, we lost this from most of the people's cut, guys. You would have seen that the protein shakes were out pretty much as soon as I start cutting, so it's awesome to have them back in as part of this reverse diet. and my protein's coming from the ISO 100 in my post-workout shake. And then we're on to training. Like I said, guys, you have to keep up your training as much as possible. You know, the worst thing that you can do post-cut or post-contest is to completely cut your training off, is to completely stop training. You got to keep your training in there. Like I said earlier in the video, I was just so happy to be training with actual energy and get a bit of a muscle pump, have some calories in there and not be trying to train on, you know, minimal calories, doing stupid amounts of cardio. I was happy just to be able to go into the gym and rip it up again, man. So I was in there training 6 days a week, the week following the contest. I didn't take any time off at all. That's the ideal situation. But you know, if you're tired, if your body feels exhausted and you can't keep up that sort of training, at least get to the gym every second day and train with some sort of intensity. The worst thing you can do is to cut that training off completely. And you're not going to see it here, but I mentioned earlier in the video as well, at this stage, my cardio at the moment, I'm still doing cardio 3 mornings a week, and it's just low intensity at this stage, really trying to wean off the cardio as much as possible and doing that low intensity cardio first thing in the morning before breakfast on an empty stomach, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then ripping it up in the gym every single night, well, 6 nights a week, and having that 1 day off. Pretty much exactly the same as we were doing as part of the People's Cut. So there you have it, guys. Episode 6 of the People's Cut on reverse diet. The final episode of the People's Cut. That's it, that's a wrap, we're all done. Look, I hope this video has been quite insightful for you. It's quite a unique video. You know, a lot of people will tell you how to get ripped, how to get shredded, how to lose weight for a contest, do those sorts of things. Nobody wants to talk about the post-contest period, about how you go about avoiding the post-contest weight gain, the weight blowout, the psychological issues, the hormone issues, all that sort of thing. So this video, I hope, has been quite insightful for you. It's definitely quite unique. I sure as hell haven't seen a video about the post-contest diet or a video on reverse dieting myself. So as always, if you guys have any questions at all on anything that we have addressed in this video, the best place to drop those questions is as a comment in this video, comment to this video on the YouTube channel, man, because that way everyone can see the question and everyone can see the answer as always. Of course, feel free to hit us up, Instagram, Facebook, the Massive Joe's website, anywhere you want, man. If you've got any questions at all, more than happy to answer them. And I personally answer all of these questions as well. So you know you're gonna hear it from me, the first-hand advice. Being the last episode, of course, gotta throw out props to everybody that put this awesome series together, the People's Cut, when we came up with the idea of this at the start of 2014, man. It was cool, never been done before, so we thought we're gonna give it a crack and we're gonna see how we go with it. So first and foremost, my man Adil, the Massive Joe's media manager, aka the cutting specialist, who puts all of these videos together, comes up with the ideas about how to cut them, what the content's gonna be, man. Adil, thank you so much. We did something really cool with this video series. Of course, to my training partners as well, Steve Mills, aka Neve, and Joel Bate, aka the Swole Bate, aka the Swole Bear. Those guys, man, helped me push through all kinds of training plateaus throughout this process of the People's Cut, man. So thank you guys so much. I very much appreciate it. Big props as well to my other training partner, my man Sal Hassan, who helped me with training, of course, and also helped out with the diet and the supplementation side of things. And in particular, a lot of the dieting type advice that I practiced throughout the People's Cut and obviously passed on to you guys as well, was a lot of that was passed on to me from Sal. So big props to Sal as well, man. And then finally to my whole family at Team Massive Joe's, man. Thank you guys so much for the support. We did a real cool thing with these videos. Finally, to you guys at home, thank you so much for watching. Without you guys, we don't have video series, man. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you have enjoyed this first season of the People's Cut 2014. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to all of our awesome YouTube videos. And I'll let you guys on a little hint as well, because the People's Cut in 2014, this first season has been so successful. We're actually continuing this and following my journey now. So what I'm gonna do right now is continue to reverse diet out of this people's cut until I get back to my maintenance calories. And then from there, we're gonna start a new video series for you guys. The polar opposite of the people's cut is gonna be called the incredible bulk, and we're gonna be showing you guys how to build muscle, man. So how you go about structuring a bulk. The polar opposite of the people's cut, so how you go about pushing through bulking plateaus, what you do with your diet, what you do with your supplements, what you do with your training, different training phases. It's gonna be epic, man. I'm really excited to do it. I'm gonna have a lot more energy because the calories are gonna be in surplus, so I'm really excited to do it. So keep an eye out for the incredible bulk. And guys, that is Season 1 of the People's Cut 2014. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive.
And strike. And relax. And relax.
Beck's going to take out our third place trophy. To competitor number 39, Bo Glasner. And second place, competitor number 32, Zachary Roenfeld. And our winner, competitor number 59, Joseph Mencel. Well done, Joe.
Good job, 32.
Ladies and gentlemen, our men's intermediate top 3. Guys, hit your best shots.